Deck of the week, it's your boy Smoke Packs. I'm here one more time reading from last week's episode's guest host, Kiyoshi's other submitted deck from the Discord. This time it's Dina Soul Steeper, blah, 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 blah. Let's get into it. It's going to be a fun one. I'm flying solo on this, so we're going to read notes of Kiyoshi's, see what he has to say about this. He says this is a fun one too, so without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so this is Dina, the Soul Steeper. This is a build Kiyoshi has submitted, and his primer is, with this deck, the commander is cheap and fast. It's a 2-drop. You trigger any life gain and drain the table symmetrically. I did add the new Stars Cape Cleric for more life drain, and when I gain. So when he gains more, he gets double. That and Marauding Blight Priest are just copies of Dina without a sack outlet. This is a fun one that people underestimate and drains when people play lands. You play lands and creature ETBs and deaths and more MVPs, OD, deck, RV. Okay, sorry. This is a fun one that people underestimate and drains when people play lands. You play lands or creature ETBs or dies and more. So it has multiple ways of interacting and gaining and draining life from just different board interactions and board states. The MVPs of this deck are Vein Ripper, Zulaport effects, Polluted Bonds, and Life Gift are also very, very good. So we're going to get into some of the cards and the spells he has in this. His commander is Dina Soul Steeper. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. It's a 2-drop, green and a black, 1/3. 3-drop defense is pretty big. And it has pay 1, sack another creature. This card gets +X until end of turn, and where the X is the sack creature's power. That's gigantic already. And it's just finding different ways to do things where whenever you get like its top ability, you gain a life, each opponent loses a life. That's where Kiyoshi's coming from with the wide board interactions. And then he has just his own type of sack outlet to give out commander damage or just do whatever to trigger the top part again. I like that. Kind of has its own little package going for itself. Let's get into the artifacts they got. Skull Clamp is a classic that sacking a creature to draw 2 cards and then get an effect off of Dina is, again, broken. Mind Crank, whenever an opponent loses life, broken. Again, all this synergy he's building with just 2 artifacts are gigantic. Profane Memento is a new card I even haven't seen. When a creature card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, you gain a life. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. Boom. Love that. So, sack a land, you gain 2 life. With Zurin Orb, again, hitting with his commander, doing work. Table of the Guilds is kind of a weird artifact I don't usually see, so let's just get into this. As Table of the Guilds enters the battlefield, choose 2 colors. Whenever you cast a spell, if it's at least 1 or more of the chosen colors, you gain 1 life for each of the chosen colors it is. Again, I can't even say it more than enough. Kiyoshi is killing it with this synergy on just his artifacts alone. He doesn't even have his creatures out yet, and they're doing big stuff. We play our commander turn 2. We have our artifacts probably set up by turn 1. Even our commander turn 3 or 4 have this set up. We're going to be doing some big things. Maybe not as annoying right away, but it will be, because once we play some of these creatures, Blood Artist, whenever another creature dies, target player loses a life, you gain a life. Boom, already you see the synergy. Okay, do I need to keep going back and say, whenever you gain a life, each opponent loses a life. Whenever another creature dies, target player loses a life, you gain a life. See the triggers going on in the synergy. And it's just got a lot of cheap creatures that are honestly extremely weird because they're all commons and uncommons, so they're just coming in right away and doing the damn thing, doing the damn work. Roaming Throne, a card I was talking about, I can't believe I forgot it off the top of my head not too long ago. Sleeper build is good for tribals, good for just any type of edge in creature types. So I wonder why he has it for that. It's chosen creature type, and if trigger ability of another creature... Oh, so he could get his commander's triggered ability, or he could get like a vampire triggered ability twice. That's insane. Scavenging Ooze is another card I was talking about with the Pack Boys. It's a card that it hits any graveyard, it's exiling it, and it's getting a +1 buff, and you get a life. So even if you're not going to attack with it, you got a life, you triggered your Dina, and you got rid of something annoying in the commander's graveyard, in your opponent's graveyard. Do I need to say more, guys? I think his creature list is gigantically solid. His artifact list is chef's kiss immaculate. A lot of these cards I own in paper. I could just start building this myself. The enchantments are where it gets very interesting. It's just your typical lose life, gain life stuff. The landfall enchantments are commander staples. Grim Feast is oldie but goldie. 3-drop. At the beginning of your upkeep, it does 1 damage to you. When a creature is put into target opponent's graveyard from play, you gain an amount of life equal to that player's toughness. So you're getting a shit ton of value from that, and then hitting your commander's ping. May I say more? Druid class is just good for extra land plays. Defense of the Heart is a card I have. I feel like it should be a commander staple, but also because it's a 4-drop, it's very slow and very casual, I feel. But during your upkeep, if one of your opponents controls at least 3 or more creatures, sack this enchantment, search your library for up to 2 creature cards, put them into play, shuffle your library after. It's really there to just get your combos out and down the game. Sorry, I had to do the little cough button there, a little professionalism for the segment, huh, guys? So I thought that was interesting, and I guess it has a list reprint. That's wild. I think his enchantments are solid. If we really get into them, they're gonna just be whenever a land comes into play, you gain a life, hit the commander. Need I say more? Need I say more? Nothing really too odd as it compared to the artifacts, where there's like some stuff I didn't really see before, like Tablet of the Guilds. Pardon me. Actually, Dark Heart of the Wood is something I've never seen. It lets you sack a forest and you gain 3 life in green and black. That's actually spicy. I'm gonna have to remember that. So yeah, his interaction is really good. His instance, he only has 6. And it just looks like it's for drawing cards, giving creatures -5. Target creature, you get like 2 life. I guess it's just cheap life activations for his commander. It looks like he's trying to set up into his combos and just end the freaking game. We have reserveless dual lands in the deck, so it's going to be dummy expensive. We got Urza Saga, Yavimai's Cradle. So, Vraska is our Planeswalker, and then our sorcery package is deep. Read the Bones Kiyoshi's talked about. He says it's one of his favorite cards. Scry 2, then draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life. I think that's pretty valid. Good sorcery speed card for value. Toxic Deluge is a card I regret selling because it's just been reprinted, but it has a good price hold at $8. So yeah, it's just if you go over the deck list, it'll be in the description of the video. You guys can see and copy it yourself. Maybe you could play it, get it into a Mox Field table, and get in there on the digital side and test it out. We'll get into a play test real quick. So already good hand. I'm going to be able to play my commander. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to play this. I'm going to play this. I forgot to draw. Already in a good position. Let's get into turn 2. We'll draw. We'll do this. We'll play my commander. And then we'll pass turn. We'll get into turn 3. I'll draw a card. I'll play a land. What does this say? I can't read it. I can't read it. I can't read it. If you control a swamp, you may play. Oh, you may pay 4 life, then cast this card. Okay. Destroy target creature. Okay, this is just a destroy. Guys, I can't read and start letting these zoom on the cards. Give me a break here, please. We get our lane line out. We just keep drawing and just keep getting into additional cost to cast this spell, sack a creature. Not a way to sack or gain life, so I don't really see any way to do that. Turn target creature from your grave to the battlefield. Nothing really interesting going on here. Creatures I control get +1 defense. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield in your control, you gain a life. So, I mean, we're just going to pass. Should have mullied. That land shouldn't be in here. It's a very interesting playtest. We could do it. We could hit it one more time. and just see what else. We're doing this on Architect, so I'm not used to the playtester on this, guys. I'm not gonna learn how to do these beforehand. You're gonna see me do it live on the segment on the show. This is already a bad hand. I mean, we can get a search going, but I don't really see anything that's gonna do anything for me here. Get our free Molly, already way better. Deathrite Shaman's gonna do stuff for me. We'll keep this. We'll draw. Soul Ring. Play that. Play this. So we can get Swamp, I believe. Draw a card. Play this. Already, I'm going to play my Defense of the Heart, so it doesn't even matter what I'm going to be doing. And if this does tap for black mana, we'll just play Deathrite Shaman. And then we'll draw a card. And then pretty much the deck's just going to be playing itself at this point. I played against Kiyoshi with this deck. It is fun. It is a quick entry of his commander. Even if you kill it on sight, he's going to have ways to play it later, and he'll have his card set up anyways with a board state to just drop in. And it seems like he has commander cards. He has cards like his commander in the deck that will just do the combo anyways and do things to hurt you. So I really want to thank him for submitting this one. I know I had to ride this one out solo, but this is a real good one. I thought this was a very interesting deck. I want to try and make my own Dina. Now I see a good kind of guideline with his and what cards he chose to put in. And seeing that they're just, a lot of them, his creature side was just commons. His instant like entry base was very low. Sorcery entry base was very high with also cards that you probably have lying around. And then his artifacts are kind of almost mix and match on just the good old lose life, gain life, double tap on his commander's effect abilities, you know? So that being said, link to the deck will be in the description as always. Let me know what you think of this Deck of the Week segment, and join the Discord if you want to submit your own for the Deck of the Week segment and get in the queue for that. As always, appreciate y'all. Smoke Packs signing out.